Hello, habit changers. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to feature a Greek staple, a falafel, a chickpea fritter, and I'm going to show you how simple it is to put together and with just a couple of simple ingredients. So I'll show you what they all are. We're going to use some garbanzo beans or chickpeas. I have some scallions, cilantro, some onions, some garlic, sesame seeds, some cumin powder, parsley, and some salt and pepper. This comes together so quick. I'm going to show you how to put it together and follow me. Okay guys, so I have some chickpeas here. If you have canned chickpeas, you can use that, drain them, and then use them. I have dried chickpeas. I soaked them overnight and they kind of plumped up. These are raw. So I have some chickpeas here, and then whatever food processor you want to use, you can use. I happen to use the NutriBullet. It works perfectly, and it's so easy. You don't have to take out another appliance. This is always on my counter. So I go ahead and put this in my NutriBullet machine. And you want to use the blade that's for grinding spices. Okay? And you're going to grind these up until they are kind of this consistency. You can grind them down all the way down, but I like a little bit of the chickpea to come through. It gives it more texture once the finished product. So I'm going to grind this up, and then I'll tell you what the next step is. Okay, so I just wanted to explain that you do not want to put all your chickpeas. That was a whole bag of, no, actually a half a bag of chickpeas. You don't want to put the whole thing in there. You're going to do it in small batches. And you see, this is the consistency you're going to get. All right? It's kind of mealy, but at the same time, there's chunks in there, and you want that. Some people just like to grind it up all the way. This is the way I prefer. Again, this is my take on a falafel. It is my version of one. Okay, so in the same processor, you're going to go ahead and put half an onion. This is going to be the flavor of your falafel. These are big cloves of garlic. I'm just going to put 3 right now. I have some cilantro. If you have fresh parsley, I'd recommend you use fresh parsley. I don't at the moment, so I'm just going to use dry. That works perfectly. So I always just use a capful. If you were to measure that out, that would probably be 2 tablespoons. And then a scallion or 2. I'm going to use 2. And put your scallion in there. We're going to blend this up, and that's going to be our flavoring for our falafel mix. So I transferred my mixture into a bigger mixing bowl. And here's my garlic, my parsley, my cilantro. And you're going to go ahead and add all of that in there. Again, this is your flavoring. And falafels are just a street food. It's a Greek street food. It's, you know, a fritter. And if you want to make this, actually, this is basically vegetarian for you vegetarians out there. Completely vegan. If you want to make this even healthier, you can actually put these in the oven. Today we're going to feature frying them, the kind of authentic way of doing it. And if you have a cheat day, this would be a good cheat meal. And again, there's nothing bad about this meal except that it's fried, and we're going to use a good oil. I'll talk about that later on. But so here you go. You're going to combine all these aromatic ingredients. And again, this is a lot of mix. I'm making a lot. You can form these, freeze them, and then whenever you want to use them, or if you're having guests over, you can pop them out of your freezer, and it'll be a quick little appetizer with a yogurt dipping sauce I'm going to show you how to make after this. But you see how they're turning green? Now, the parsley really is what, the fresh parsley is what would make this green. I'm adding cilantro. There's different variations. I happen to be a fan of cilantro, so I've decided to use more cilantro than parsley. But again, this is my version of one. So, all of that's combined. You're going to go ahead and get some cumin. I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of cumin. And put that in there. A half a teaspoon of sesame seeds. Put that in there. I'm actually going to put a whole teaspoon of it. This is optional. And I'm going to use, at this point, a half, that was a tablespoon, I'm sorry. And this is going to be a half a teaspoon of Himalayan sea salt. You can use whatever salt you have. Okay. You're going to combine this. Now, falafels are shaped in different ways, and traditionally, what they do is that they form them in the shape of patties, and they have them with pita bread and cucumbers and tomatoes, and they have a pita falafel sandwich, or you can use them as little fritters to dip. I'm going to feature them that way today. Okay, so you see how this is all combined? If you want to put some pepper in here, you can. I think I am. And before you fry this, you want to go ahead and just give it a little bit of a taste. The flavorings are great. Okay. That's it, guys. This is your falafel mixture. And I'm going to show you how to form these. So, my hands are clean. The traditional patty that you would do with a pita bread would be something like that. Today, I'm not going to do that one. Today, I'm going to do more. You can make them circle. I like them oblong. It really doesn't matter. It's your preference. I'm going to go ahead and form these little guys. And when I'm ready to fry them off, I will show you what they look like. Alright, guys, this is your finished product after they're formed. And I have here a little deep fryer because we do not fry that much at my house. So you can use a deep fryer. If you don't have one, you can pan fry them. If you want to even go healthier, what you can do is just spray them with a little bit of olive oil and stick them in the oven at 350 until they're golden crisp. And basically, until they're crispy, they're done. So today I'm going to be frying them. If you're going to fry, you want a high smoke point oil, and that would be either a canola oil, a peanut oil, a grapeseed oil. Today we're going to use canola. It's better for you than any other saturated fat oil. So I'm going to go ahead and wait till these gets a little bit hotter, and we'll fry them. I'm going to place them in the fryer. You don't want to put too many at a time. And there you go. Okay, guys, so for the quick tzatziki sauce that's going to be accompanied with this, all you're going to need is some cucumbers, some Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, and some lemon juice. And I'm just going to go ahead and give these a little bit of a chop. I've tried both versions of doing this. Sometimes I'll do it like a cucumber salad, and what I'll do is that I'll take the cucumber and I'll use my potato peeler, and I will thinly slice the cucumber. It just depends if you like less or more cucumber. If you're not a fan of cucumber, you can omit this and just use the yogurt itself. But this is what I like doing when I use these. Alright, my chopping skills aren't professional, guys. I'm a home cook, but you get the gist of it. You want to make them all even.
Okay, I think that's enough for just this right now. And you'll go ahead and put them in your bowl. All right, and then you're going to use your Greek yogurt. And this is going to be your dipping sauce. Combine that together. Doesn't that look so fresh and yummy? We're going to season this. We're going to add some, about maybe half a teaspoon of, maybe a whole teaspoon of lemon juice. I recommend fresh. Salt and pepper to taste. And there you have it, guys. This is your dipping sauce for your falafel.
Alright guys, so here they're done. This is what they need to look like. You see how nice and golden brown they are. So I've drained them out of the frying oil, and you still want to go ahead and put them in a paper towel, and look how crispy those look. Alright guys, so here you are. Here's your finished product. I'm so excited about this. This is a great weeknight meal. You don't need to go out. Look how great these look. And here's your little dipping sauce. If you have pita bread and you want to go ahead and make a sandwich out of this, then that would be a great way to enjoy this. Let me just show you the inside. Look at that. The inside is nice and soft. And you see all that filling in there. And so you're just going to dip it. They're crispy and nice and tender inside. Guys, here's a trip to Greece. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you try to give this recipe a try rather. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe to Jeanette Habit for Life. Remember, every habit change is a step towards abundant living. Enjoy your falafel, guys. Thanks for tuning in.